This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. So a move has been underway since the announcement, well, even before this, but when it was rumored that Donald Trump was going to be indicted, hauled before a court, arrested, booked, fingerprinted. Unlikely he'll do a perp walk. I don't believe they're going to cuff him, even though he should be treated like every other criminal, every other accused criminal. He should be treated the same, dispassionately. The Lady Justice wears a blindfold for a reason in the statutes. But there has been a move underfoot to pressure the existing Republican candidates for president, and we're talking about Ron DeSantis in this case. There's a video floating around of him. I think I'm going to switch to calling him DeSantis because he used to pronounce his name that way, but now he's changed how he pronounces his name, oddly. There has been pressure on Ron DeSantis from the Trump camp, from Trump loyalists, to get him to disavow the investigation. The New York Times did a write-up. I'm not going to read from the article, but this is the headline. Trump allies pressured DeSantis to weigh in on expected indictment. The effort previews how an indictment would jolt the still nascent race for the Republican presidential nomination, and perhaps already has. So a couple of pieces of evidence of this is Jason Miller. You may know Jason Miller. I believe he's the creator or the funder. He's the founder of Gettr, Gettr, another right-wing nutcase social media outlet. He tweeted this on Twitter, not Gettr. Maybe it's there too. Thank you, Vice President Mike Pence and Vivek Ramaswamy, for pointing out how radical left Democrats, again with the capitalization, I mean, come on, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a little respect for the language you hold so dear and you want to be the national tongue? You want it to be the national language of the country, but you can't effectively or fluently, properly, appropriately communicate in it. Radical left Democrats, all caps, are trying to divide our country, capitalized for some reason, in the name of partisan politics, capitalized for some reason. Radio silence from Governor Ron DeSantis, Florida, and Ambassador Nikki Haley. Trump War Room, also, Trump War Room is like the campaign Twitter account for Donald Trump's 2024 campaign. It has been over 24 hours and some people are still quiet. Some people are still quiet. History will judge their silence. It's all just on the nose for the Trump camp. Well, Ron DeSantis, of course, feeling the pressure and being a coward, did step up and make a statement. Except it's not a full-throated condemnation of the investigation. He also got his little jabs in there, mentioning the payouts to porn stars, and it's obviously an engineered statement. His team got together, and how can we say something negative about the investigation, but also get our digs in on Donald Trump? Because if Ron DeSantis has anything, it's not quick on his feet thinking. It's not textbook street smarts. He's an oaf who has lines fed to him. Watch this.
From the Florida Standard, we wanted to know what your thoughts are on the rumored Trump indictment and if you have any role in it. If charges are brought on him, will you have any role in extradition to New York?
So I've seen rumors swirl. I have not seen any facts yet, and so I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this. The Manhattan District Attorney is a Soros-funded prosecutor. And so he, like other Soros-funded prosecutors, they weaponize their office to impose a political agenda on society at the expense of the rule of law and public safety. He has downgraded over 50% of the felonies to misdemeanors. He says he doesn't want to even have jail time for the vast majority of crimes. And what we've seen in Manhattan is we've seen the crime rate go up, and we've seen citizens become less safe. And so you're talking about this situation with, and look, I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is that if you have a prosecutor who is ignoring crimes happening every single day in his jurisdiction, and he chooses to go back many, many years ago to try to use something about porn star hush money payments, that's an example of pursuing a political agenda and weaponizing the office. And I think that that's fundamentally wrong.
Yeah. That's Ron DeSantis trying to have it both ways, without a doubt. But again, I mentioned in an earlier video that this entire notion about crime being up and it's just out of control and it's on the rise, and he specifically mentioned Manhattan, in the city of New York in general, but also Manhattan specifically, crime is on the decline. The NYPD says this, statistics bear this out. It is just, in some cases, double digits down. So this is nonsense. This entire line that Alvin Bragg is ignoring real crime while trying to prosecute political prosecution or persecute Donald Trump. It's just not the facts. Donald Trump committed a crime, and he will be held accountable for it. It took long enough, absolutely, but to act like, this was many, many years ago. This was 2016. This was when Donald Trump was getting ready to be elected president of the United States. No prosecutor from a federal standpoint was going to touch this because of the Office of Legal Counsel's memo saying you can't indict a sitting president. So because of that, any crime that they commit upon entering office, the statute of limitations are up. No, that is not the case. This is not only the misdemeanor, because it's tied to campaign finance, it's also a felony, and Donald Trump needs to be held accountable. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think about all of this. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can leave a comment. You can also email me, daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. We will be following this as time goes on. We'll see what tomorrow brings. If you'd like to support my work, I would appreciate you considering it. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month, or you can click over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.